All right, everybody, welcome to the Best of NWF Takeover Respect Aftershow. Tonight was an amazing night where we see the end of the Dusty Classic and also the first ever Iron Woman match. So let's go ahead and get right on into this. And our first match of the evening was for the Dusty Tag Team Classic semifinals. We have Finn Balor and Samoa Joe versus Dawson and Wilder. Now, I think everyone's pretty surprised that Dawson and Wilder made it to this point. You know, they're a great tag team, definitely, but I think it's like the Blake and Murphy. They look kind of plain at first look, but when you really think about great tag teams, it's how they work as a unit that really makes them special. And Dawson and Wilder definitely are working as a unit and are a real threat in the NXT tag division. Balor and Joe, of course, they're like the mega powers of NXT. You got the hard-hitting Joe with the finesse and high-flying ability of Finn Balor, and they go ahead and pick up the victory there. It was a decent match. Nothing special, nothing we haven't seen from either team, but it was a good warm-up, a good first match to open this up to TakeOver. After that, we have our other semifinals for the Dusty Tag Team Classic. We have Jason Jordan and Chad Gable versus Rhino and Baron Corbin. Now, same thing with Jordan and Gable. You know, they didn't seem that special put together, but, you know, Gable obviously was showing a lot of personality early on, and Jason Jordan in this match really showed his personality. When he got fired up on the hot tag and came in the ring and laid everyone out and pulled down his straps, I mean, he looked awesome. Gable has the fans behind him 100%. They were chanting his name the entire match. Rhino and Corbin playing great heels, and this is a perfect example of you have someone like Corbin that's very new to the business, and at first he's kind of getting hot-shotted. But, you know, now that he's paying his dues, he's really getting good in the ring. He's really looking great, and I'm really happy to see how far he's come along, and I'm honestly looking forward to him moving forward. You know, he has a future. I just wish he'd do a couple more sit-ups. But this was what tag team wrestling should be about. It was exciting. It was fun. It was amazing. So Baron Corbin and Rhino pick up the victory there, going into the finals later in the show. After that, we have, you know, on this card, I'll say this. We had a lot of anticipated matches, and this match was no exception. You have Dana Brooke versus Asuka. And Dana Brooke's another example. You know, she came in, she's very green, she's new to the business, but she has so much personality, and she's getting better in the ring every week. And I was a little worried putting her against a world-class talent like Asuka, but you know, she held her own. I mean, Asuka, we saw glimpses of brilliance, and this, you know, after the Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks are kind of leaving NXT, you know, you figured, hey, maybe the women's division would be having a step down, but no. With the addition of Asuka, the Dana Brooke progression, I mean, in Bailey obviously killing it, you know, there's a bright future for everyone here, and it's only looking better as far as I'm concerned. This match was short, but, you know, Asuka, like I said, showing why she's here at NXT, and it's pretty incredible that she made the transition faster than almost any other talent signed, besides maybe Samoa Joe, and, you know, that's says a lot about her skill in the ring. So she picks up the victory there, and I'm excited to see more of her in the women's division. After that, we have probably my least anticipated match of the evening with Tyler Breeze, NXT veteran, always the bridesmaid, versus Apollo Crews. Tyler Breeze, I don't know what they're waiting for. He's great in NXT. He's a great heel, but he hasn't done anything. He can never seem to win the big match. I think he's only won like 1 or 2 matches at any NXT TakeOver event, and I wish they'd do something with Breeze. I was really hoping he'd pull up like an upset victory, maybe like a cheat to win thing, something to get him going. But it looks like he was just fed to Crews. Hopefully the storyline coming out of this is he's sick and tired of losing and he's leaving NXT. So you have Apollo Crews. I'm waiting to see more. I'm waiting to see something from him. He keeps coming out and just smiling, and I know he's great in the ring. I know he has a a storied past on the independents, but I want to see more. I really wanted Breeze to pick up the victory, but Cruz picks up the victory, and he continues his momentum ever since debuting at the last Takeover in Brooklyn. After this match, we have the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic Finals. We have Corbin and Rhino versus Balor and Joe. Now, I should mention, I didn't mention this earlier, Dawson and Wilder really were working on Balor's knee, and I thought this was going to be a way to have Baron Corbin and Rhino kind of single out Balor and maybe pick up the victory, but that was not the case. Joe and Balor do win this match and win the Tag Team Classic, and it makes sense. If they're going to actually keep this going every year, the first name on there, you're going to want some big names, and Joe and Balor, they're definitely going to be the bigger names than Corbin and Rhino moving forward in WWE history. So they pick up the victory, and it was fine, but not as good as the Jordan and Gable match that was earlier in the evening. So they definitely stole the show as far as tag teams go tonight. After that, we have one of the most amazing things when you really think about women's wrestling over the past 10 years, honestly, ever since kind of the Lita and Trish era ended, we've had nothing but divas. And we have a main event women's match, Iron Man match. And, coming off of TakeOver Brooklyn, I was really interested to see how hot this was going to be, how they could top what they did in Brooklyn, because what they did in Brooklyn was pure magic. And, the crowd was behind this match the most, and that says a lot about how they respect and how they really feel about these two women. It started off kind of slow, but they built in more and more and more and got into it, and it was quite amazing the moves they did and how they were able to put this match together. The crowd was so behind it. It was so hard hitting. Something that with Asuka added to the mix, it's going to be very exciting moving forward. And this match definitely delivered, and this shows what on the main roster the women should be doing. I said this before, the Divas Revolution is pretty horrible, but the women's wrestling in NXT is amazing. And I feel bad for, the girls that got called up to the main roster, because I bet when they were watching this match, they're like, damn, that could be us. So congratulations to Bayley picking up the victory. Hopefully for Sasha, this means she goes to the main roster full time. I think this feud is concluded. I think Bayley proved herself. I think the story has been told, and hopefully moving forward, you kind of have Bayley kind of go on a streak here and defend this title for a while until an actual worthy opponent steps forward. All in all, this TakeOver respect miles ahead of Night of Champions, but that goes without saying. Most NXT shows are better than any Raw or pay-per-view that they put out, and going out of this, like I said out of the last one, are we going to build these feuds going forward, or are we going to start fresh after every TakeOver? So I guess for this event, that's pretty much all I had to say. I was really enjoyed every minute of it from beginning to end, and it's something I can't see on other WWE products. I will say this, I wrote this down, watching Dana Brooke and Asuka and Sasha Banks and Bayley, and just how the women are portrayed in NXT. I think it's time I know Renee used to do NXT commentary, but I think maybe we should bring in Lita or another woman to be on commentary for NXT, especially if you're going to do a three-man booth. I think one of those men should be a woman, and it's not because I think, for equality, I think it just would match the show. I think it would feel right, and especially having a veteran woman on there or Renee, to be out there, calling these matches, give a different perspective, because you figure 2 out of your 2 out of your 6 matches are women's matches. I think it's high time we have some women commentators back on NXT. So for Best of NWF, I guess we'll see you next time. Late.